the small to medium saute pan, it's really the size you need. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of times I see you guys with the giant skillets trying to do this stuff. Not necessary, right? This is as big a pan as you need, right? So what is a proper saute? Can you give me the paper towels that you got me? Hot pan, cold oil, right? Okay. Where is my chicken breast? Should be in the walk-in. Someone grab me a pair of tongs.
You have oil, chef? He's asking.
I asked for oil. Robert was getting me oil. Okay, guys. So, where's my oil? No oil? Oil. No oil? Where? It's not here. It's not where I need it. Okay. So, how am I going to cook this chicken, guys? Skin side down. Yes, absolutely. So first thing I'm going to do, this chicken breast is not brined very long, but that's okay. Don't sit on my towels. Why did you do that? Okay, so I have these paper towels here. I have these paper towels here to dry the excess brine off of there, okay? And just real gently press it with the paper towels, okay? You don't want a big wet chicken breast going in there because what's going to happen? It's going to splatter and pop and flame up. So, ideally what you should be able to do, guys, is brine this thing for an hour and let it dry for about 10 minutes. Let it air dry, okay? Pick the feathers off, for God's sakes, all right? Okay, so there's that. Get the oil in my pan. Is there more oil somewhere? I don't think there's We got that fryer on. All right, so hot pan, cold oil. I need to get my chicken in there. It's always her. Mommy's calling you. Okay. Skin side down. Alright? One thing I want to do, guys, is move this chicken a little bit so that I know it's not sticking. Alright? Because if I notice, if that skin has a proper sear, it's not going to stick. But if you leave it in there and you don't move it, that skin will stick. You try to turn it over, and that skin is going to be left in the pan. So just tell her you're busy, and I'm a real asshole about stuff like that. So zip it. Okay. So after my skin side gets seared, and I turn it over, guys, I want to turn the heat down. All right. I don't need that hot searing heat on the meat side, right? Because what's going to happen? How many of you guys took your test and the bottom of your chicken was darker than the skin and more crispy and all dried out? Okay, so moderate the heat. The heat goes from off to all the way, and there's no in between for some of you guys. So just moderate your heat, all right? Let's check the sear. All right, it's happening. Look at that. And the brine will give it a really nice coloration. I'm going to go ahead and turn it down now. Let that sear for another second. Give it a bit of a press so it's nice and even. And see how it's crispy and blistered up? Okay. And I'm going to turn that thing way down, right? Like I said, I don't want that searing, burning, super high heat on the meat side, right? If I want to do this, now is the point to do it, okay? So just cover it up. You're going to have to watch it. Temp it. Make sure you're temping, okay? Use your thermometer, right? Let that go until it gets almost to temp, then I'm going to take the lid off, and I'm going to put it back on the skin side, crisp it back up, take it out. Can I get a sizzle platter and a whisk? One of those silicone whisks. Just give me a regular one.
Del otro lado.
Just a regular one's fine.
Shut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so for demonstration purposes, let's say that this is close to done, all right? Because I don't want you guys standing around here all day. We're gonna take it out, flip it back over. You guys see all the steam in there? That's the moisture. Turn it up a little bit. Get that skin nice and crispy. It's nowhere near done right now. I don't want you guys standing around for that. And you can move this thing around to sear around that bone. Okay? I'm going to get that nice and crisp up again. Okay. Once I take it out of the pan and start making my sauce, am I just going to leave that there? Where am I going to put it? Your windows should be on. You're going to put that up here somewhere warm to rest. Right? It's under there. The demonstration purposes.
Yep.
All right. So in making the integral sauce, what's my first step? No, aromatics, guys. Okay, so for my aromatics, I have a little small dice of onions, and there should be enough fat left in the pan. Okay, if you need to add a drop more, go ahead. Don't drown it with the oil. Okay. I've got a little chopped onion, and then this is just some herb and honey sauce, okay? And get all that in there. I want to move it around so that those fats can coat what we're cooking, so it doesn't just go in there and burn on the sides of the pan. So, what do you guys smell? Goodness, right? You're smelling those aromatics. Make sense? Yeah, the deglaze step is next. So we're going to look, when do we know our aromatics are done? When they start smelling good? Yeah, we're starting to look for some color or for our onions to go translucent. If you guys are doing garlic in your integral sauce, don't add a lot because garlic will overpower an integral sauce very, very easily, okay? Okay, now see the caramelization in the bottom of our pan? It's not getting any darker. Why? Because we have moist ingredients on top, okay? So, and that's the color that we want to pull out of the pan to color our sauce. So, my aromatics are going. And it's time for my deglaze, and I'm going to go through this really quick. What I did is I got some capers. I like putting the capers in first under a real high heat, but I can't do it for an integral sauce. Why? Because I'll burn the fond in the pan, that nice caramelization in the pan. So I'm going to get a little caper in there. You should rinse your capers, okay? Always rinse your capers. And the capers could have gone in with the aromatics. That's more of a personal thing. Yeah, deglaze. I have an ounce of white wine here. Okay. what I like to do when I add the white wine is take it off the heat and just swirl it. Okay. You guys will notice see what that did in the caramelization on the pan? It's all coming up. You can hit it with your whisk a little bit. Now what consistency am I taking that white wine down to? All set, right? I want it almost dry. Is it there? No. Just about. Because I don't want to start seeing it dry out up on the sides. Okay? So that's ready. Next, I'm going to add my chicken stock. And I'm going to add about half a cup. Okay? So what am I going to do with this chicken stock? I'm going to reduce it by how much, guys? At least half. At least half. What does that do for the consistency of my finished sauce? Right, because chicken stock has gelatin, right? It has the collagen and elastin come together, create gelatin in that moist cooking environment. So what are we cooking off? Well, water. And what's left behind is that we're enriching the sauce, we're creating more flavor. Okay? Should I add a bunch of salt and pepper right now? Why?
Concentrate.
Right, because we're still reducing. And if I taste it now with all the seasoning in there, it's not going to be what it is going to be in the end. Okay? So I really don't want to add any seasonings during the reduction portion. Okay? So is that reduced by half? Almost. Almost. I want to see it start looking a little thicker than it was when I went in, because it was really cool when it went in. It's going to get thinner as it warms up, and then it's going to thicken up again as it reduces. Okay? So I'm looking for consistency. It's almost there now. Okay? And then you don't have to follow this procedure. I mean, as far as ingredients, your aromatics can do whatever they want. I'm going to add some heavy cream just because it's easy and it thickens up really well in a reduction. I'm going to add about the same amount as the chicken stock, about a half a cup. Okay? Why am I going to add chicken stock? What's that going to do for my product? I mean, why am I going to add the heavy cream? What's that going to do to the finished sauce? You get that exactly, that silky mouthfeel. You're increasing the fat content, okay, and you're also creaming it up, so it's smoothing that sauce. And plus, when cream reduces, what happens to it? Like the chicken stock, it gets thicker, right? But cream gets way thicker than chicken stock, right? So it's a nice agent to bring all those flavors together, make it smooth, creamy, thick, rich, delicious, just like a sauce should be, right? But again, like I said, you don't have to use cream. You don't have to use the same aromatics that I did. But whatever it is you're doing, it should match the flavors that you're putting on the plate. And we're going to talk more about that in the following weeks, okay? So, again, I'm going to reduce this by probably more than half, okay? Because what's the consistency I'm looking for? Nappe. All right, and how do I know when it's nappe? Right, it'll coat the back of the spoon. And I'll just use the tongs for demonstration purposes. Are there tasting spoons around here?
Yes, sir.
And can I get a little salt and pepper over here just to, huh?
Sure.
That's fine.
Sure.
Oh, thanks. That's for you guys to try the sauce. And guys, be careful. Don't get impatient. Don't crank your sauce up all the way. All right? You want to keep that nice moderate heat, especially in a smaller pan. All right? You crank it up all the way, that cream's going to boil over because you're going to be looking at something else. Yada, yada, yada. Should you serve your integral sauce chunky like this, or should you strain it? Strain it. Okay. A couple different schools of thought. Yeah. Me personally, I like a sauce with some texture and some consistency, and I think you can lose a lot by straining. However, strict traditional French cooking, you would need to strain it. So you may want to bring in a little tiny chinois, one of those real fine mesh strainers, and have it on your station. Okay? We're going to season this when it's done. Okay? So look at the color of the sauce now. See, we're picking up all those caramely colors. Another thing that you could do is use like an immersion blender and blend the sauce. However, that gets very, very difficult with pan sauces. I wouldn't even attempt it. I would just go ahead and strain it once it's to the proper consistency, and maybe use a ladle to push some of the particulate through. Does that make sense? Because I've showed all of you my double mesh method, right? With soups and stuff. All right, so I want to try to do something like that. All right, let's see if that's ready yet. Does that look ready? Almost. So where's my tasting spoons? Taste this.
Any kind of white? Any kind of white wine? Or
It depends on what the rest of your dish is. I mean, if you wanted red wine, that's perfectly fine. You go ahead and season it a little bit. And remember, you're going to have maybe a cup of sauce, so don't over season it. A lot of times you guys don't even bother seasoning it, or you dump the whole thing in there, right? Go ahead and taste it again. All right. I'm going to shut that off and call it done. Can someone grab me a fine strainer or a chinois? And I'm going to pour this out and we're going to try it, okay? How are you going to present it? The whole piece? Or are you going to cut it?
cut it.
The whole piece? Really, it's up to you. If you cut it though, make 2 equal pieces, cut it on a bias. What I like to do, guys, is cut from the middle in and down, all right? And then turn the pieces when you present them so that you create some height. Yes.
We didn't see.
Go ahead.
Can you tell us because we couldn't see?
Right, I like this from the middle, the widest part, in under the bone. Okay.
Only one?
One cut, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's a beautiful piece of meat. We took the time to fabricate it and make it look nice for presentation. Don't fuck that up by making like 6 cuts in it. Okay. All right. All right. So here is. I need. Grab me a bowl, a small bowl. Yeah. I need every bit of flavor out of this sauce. Without all of the aromatics. Okay? So now I want you guys to taste it.